Letter 41 by Charles Lamb. Dec. 27, 1798. Dear Southey, your friend John May has formerly made kind offers to Lloyd of serving me in the India House by the interest of his friend Sir Francis Baring. It is not likely that I shall ever put his goodness to the test on my own account, for my prospects are very comfortable. But I know a young man, whom he could serve through the same channel, and I think would be disposed to serve if he were acquainted with his case. This poor fellow, whom I know just enough of to vouch for his strict integrity and worth, has lost 2 or 3 employments from illness, which he cannot regain. He was once insane, and from the distressful uncertainty of his livelihood has reason to apprehend a return of that malady. He has been for some time dependent on a woman whose lodger he formerly was, but who can ill afford to maintain him, and I know that on Christmas night last he actually walked about the streets all night, rather than accept of her bed, which she offered him, and offered herself to sleep in the kitchen, and that in consequence of that severe cold he is laboring under a bilious disorder, besides a depression of spirits, which incapacitates him from exertion when he most needs it. For God's sake, Southey, if it does not go against you to ask favors, do it now, ask it as for me, but do not do a violence to your feelings, because he does not know of this application, and will suffer no disappointment. What I meant to say was this: there are in the India House what are called extra clerks, not on the establishment like me, but employed in extra business. By jobs, these get about £50 a year, or rather more, but never rise. A director can put in at any time a young man in this office, and it is by no means considered so great a favor as making an established clerk. He would think himself as rich as an emperor if he could get such a certain situation, and be relieved from those disquietudes which I do fear may one day bring back his distemper. You know John May better than I do, but I know enough to believe that he is a good man. He did make me that offer I have mentioned, but you will perceive that such an offer cannot authorize me in applying for another person. But I cannot help writing to you on the subject, for the young man is perpetually before my eyes, and I should feel it a crime not to strain all my petty interest to do him service, though I put my own delicacy to the question by so doing. I have made one other unsuccessful attempt already. At all events, I will thank you to write, for I am tormented with anxiety. I suppose you have somewhere heard that poor Mary Darlin has poisoned herself, after some interviews with John Reed, the ci devant Alfonso of her days of hope. How is Edith? John May was a friend and correspondent of Southey whom he had met at Lisbon, not to be confounded with Coleridge's In Keeping May. Sir Francis Baring was a director of the East India Company. One have no knowledge as to who the young man was, nor have I any regarding Mary Darlin and John Reed.